Okay. That's good.
How about me? Getting it clear?
That's good. You want to do it first?
You have your slides there already?
Yeah, we're gonna log in.
Okay.
And do we have two mics?
Sorry?
Do we have two mics?
Yes.
Are you talking this? Okay, so you can do here. You want my spot or stand behind?
Sure. Just push it up in the right direction.
Okay, so this is the- Yeah, what do you want?
Well, you need to like play around with like turning off the screen or anything.
No,
So just keep
we'll
this
just be
with me,
on.
okay? I'll
Don't
just
put it on
turn it
there,
on.
though.
Just
Oh.
give you a sign if you want to do it.
Do you need us to do anything with this?
Sorry?
Do you need us to do anything with this?
No, it's all forecasting.
Okay. We're supposed to take care of the RGB. So this is, we can already protect this. This is nothing. Say hello, and then I can talk here. I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you want to do it?
So, those responsive partners,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
This makes more sense just for one person to sponsor.
Actually, we can split them here. Like,
Yeah.
if you go up to like, go up to bronze,
And then you'll talk about
space it down. So you go that team, that one, and that's the space I take over. I go up.
So guys, gonna walk around, maybe we
we'll get to the production. Okay. Oh, we didn't even have to tell you to quiet down. Thank you. Good audience. All right, welcome everyone to the Space Generation Congress Dubai. We are so thrilled to have you here. My name is Kelsey Dirksen. I am the manager of the SGC with my co-manager, Victoria Carter-Cortez. We're going to be going over this morning a little bit about what SGC is for those that are new here, as well as, of course, highlight our sponsors, which we're so thankful for to be able to run this event. And yeah, we have a really exciting Congress planned for you all. And we're just also thrilled to see people in person. I think everyone feels the same way. So I'll just start kicking off right now. Woo, yeah, cheer and applause. Great audience. Amazing. So yeah, I mean, welcome again. Seriously, we're so thankful for all of you making the trip over here, whether it was, you know, a 2-hour drive, a 24-hour flight, taking how many COVID tests it took for you to get here. We're so thankful that you decided to make the trip over here, both in person and of course, all of you connecting online as well. This is the first ever hybrid Space Generation Congress ever, which is amazing. Woo again, yeah, amazing. And our team has put so much work into making this successful. And I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's all about the delegates that make the Congress what it is. So again, thank you all for coming, and I'm really excited to kick things off. Yeah, just to highlight who our team is. So you'll be seeing these faces all over the Congress, probably running around. So you probably already saw them running around this morning. So we just want to take also the time to thank our wonderful team. Seriously, there's so much work that goes behind making an SGC possible, let alone a hybrid SGC possible. And so thank you so much to the team. Please do, if you see any of these faces, these are the people that know what's happening at any time. If you ever have questions, you can ask them. And of course, you can always ask myself or Victoria as well. Of course, I mentioned already, we would not be here without our sponsors. So thank you so much to our platinum sponsor, Lockheed Martin, our gold sponsors, Planet and NASA PDCO, our silver sponsors, OHB, SES, Airbus, and Blue Origin. And of course, our bronze sponsors as well. We have the National Space Science and Technology Center, iSpace, AIAA, Skyrora, HE Space, Club for the Future, Virgin Orbit, Bryce Space Tech, and GHGSat.
Similarly, we'd love to thank all the national space agencies that have sponsored us in this SGC2021 journey. So we have ESA, the UK Space Agency, the Canadian Space Agency, ASI, the Agència Espacial Italiana, the French Space Agency, CNES, Luxembourg Space Agency, and of course, NASA. In terms of partners, we're very grateful to the Mohammed bin Rashid University of Medicine and Health that is hosting us here today. So big thank you to them for letting us use their facilities throughout this Congress. We'd like to also thank future space leaders, the IAF, the Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center, Space Canada, Jörg Kreisler, individuals such as Kim Davidian, Chris Boschmitzen, ISA, and the ISS crew for being partners of SGC. Okay, so here are a couple of statistics. We want to know who's in the room here and also at home. As you know, we have plenty of delegates joining us from their local countries this year as we are in a hybrid setup. So we have 156 delegates in total attending this year's SGC. Feel free to connect on Slack so that you can your other fellow online delegates. We have 44% young professionals, 56% students, over 28 countries represented just in this room. And over the 3 days, we'll be hearing from 19 speakers, 21 experts over the 6 different working groups that we're having.
So I'm just curious, how many people joined SGC within the past 365 days, past year? Wow, it's amazing. You're at your first SGC. Cool. So how many people have been to an SGC before? So about half. And then for those of you at home, I'll just count the thumbs up on Zoom. Awesome. So I'll go over a little bit about what SGC is for those that are new. I mean, Space Generation Congress is a great place to start off with your first ever SGC event. So SGC is a global non-governmental nonprofit organization network, represents university students and young space professionals ages 18 to 35 to the United Nations, so folks like yourself. We're conceived at the third United Nations Conference on Exploration and Peaceful Uses of Outer Space in Vienna in 1999. And really, it's just the global network to connect with young professionals and students within the space industry. I mean, I think you'll see, especially when you get into your working groups, you're going to meet people from all over the world, all different backgrounds, and that's what makes SGC so special, is you have this network of people from around the world that all have this common interest of space.
So what is really the purpose of SGAC? There's threefold. It's to create a global volunteer base of university students and young professionals in the space sector who have a passion for making a difference in the sector and a commitment to action. It's also to connect you to your peers and top space professionals and experts across various global organizations, and to give you, the next generation of space sector leadership, opportunities and a voice in the global space policy platform.
So we showed the highlights of how many folks from different countries, whether that be also young professional and student as well, are represented at the SGC, both online and in person. So the SGC network is extremely wide. We represent 6 regions, over 150 countries, and more than 15,000 plus members. So there's definitely an SGC event going on around near you. So please be sure to check out the SGC network in your local community as well, not just here in Dubai.
Yeah, and in terms of SGAC, there's sort of 5 core pillars of activity within SGC itself. So the events, such as the one there is today, and many more that you can check out on the website, the different project groups, the opportunities for professional development, scholarships are a huge part of what SGC does, and of course, UN-related activities that SGC is part of.
Great, so I'll go into a little bit more about the international and regional and local different events that we have going on as well. So of course, the first one is Space Generation Congress, which you're all at today. So this is always held in conjunction with the International Astronautical Congress, which I'm sure many of you are going to following this week, which is held at the IC location quite nearby, actually. So we represent over 150 delegates from 50 plus countries. So this year we have about 80 in-person delegates and about 75 online delegates. And again, this is the first ever hybrid SGC, which is really exciting. We have high-level speakers and subject matter experts from space agencies, academia, and industry, and you'll get to meet and interface with them during your working groups, as well as during panels, and there'll be keynotes this morning as well. We have working group topics on key issues from the space industry, and we've had a lot of feedback from you folks actually during the registration process of the working groups you were interested in. It was really great to see the passion that you put into your applications. So it's really exciting, and it was very competitive. So, you know, congratulations on being here and being a part of the working groups. We also try to give almost half of our delegate scholarships. We have around 75 SGC scholarships and awards available as well for your support to attend the Congress, both online or in person.
So this is just an overview, just a reminder of where we were last year as we were the hits, and so we can share everything online. So in lieu of a typical SGC, Space United was held, and I think this has been a driver and a motivation to really support the hybrid initiative that we have today. So last year we were able to connect with 143 people online from across 53 countries and so on. And so these are just reminders of where we came from and how we progress as a transition.
I think one thing to mention too is Victoria is humble that like they did the turnaround of putting Space Gen United on in a few months. It was really amazing to see what they could do. So I just like want to give a round of applause for Victoria and the team that did that, because it was amazing. It really was. And honestly, and some of the team members from Space Gen United are on the SGC team this year as well. So it's just amazing to see the folks, you know, come back year after year to volunteer, and it wouldn't be possible without you. So, you know, just my sappy comments of the morning. We also have the Space Generation Fusion Forum. So this was held this past August. It's usually hosted around the March time. It was moved to August this past year. It's always held in conjunction with the Space Symposium in Colorado Springs. They have about 75 delegates representing different countries as well. And they also do a discussion of key space and career topics. High-level international space leaders attend. It's a great networking opportunity. It's always held in Colorado Springs as well, if you ever want to check that area out. It's very beautiful. And there's also the Global Grant Program, plus around 10 to 12 scholarships they give each year to support folks attending from, especially if you're traveling from outside the United States. And I mentioned this already, but it's a great networking opportunity for folks.
And then we have SGX, which is more of a fast-paced, engaging discussion on cutting-edge space and satellite topics, held in conjunction with the Satellite Show in Washington, D.C. It's held in partnership with the Future Space Leaders Foundation and Satellite, and typically has a group of around sort of 200 or so delegates. And things are held more in like a TEDx-style series of talks. So it's a great opportunity for one-day event. So if you are interested in that, definitely check it out.
And then we also have regional and national events as well. So for folks, I know a lot of folks connecting at home maybe couldn't make the travel to Dubai. There's lots of regional events that happen locally in your own community too. And if there isn't, we also strongly encourage you to approach SGAC with, you know, possible regional events that you can host as well. So there's different space generation workshops. You know, these could be 2-day workshops. They focus on regional space issues, which is really nice. So it's, you know, relevant to your local community. Thinking about the developments over the next decade, the projection of regional space activities in the future, and then also discussions about regional cooperation for those folks also that are coming from areas with, you know, they don't have maybe not naturally spacefaring nations or things like that, emerging space nations. We also do SG countries. So I know we've had SG Canada, SG France. So this is a national one-day event. We focus on national space issues as well. Great networking opportunities for, again, kind of more your local community, but on a national level. And then you can really focus on as well what's important to you and your country. So if any of these interest you as well, that you're like, hey, I want to host one in my country and I've never heard of this happening, we would love to chat about that over coffee.
Yeah, and we also have a series of partnered and endorsed events. So partnered events are organized in partnership with other organizations and part of a parallel program to existing conferences and so on. So some examples of these, for instance, are World Space Week, Space Up, and Juris Night, and so forth. Again, you can check more details on this kind of stuff on the SGC website.
And of course, we do want to talk a little bit about how you can connect online, because we do have almost half of our delegates are online this year. We're so thankful for you all joining us as well. So we have webinars. We have over 50 webinars with over 90 nationalities represented, from around 100 to 1,500 views per webinar. This is over the past year or so. And so, you know, if hosting an in-person event maybe isn't possible for you in your certain region, webinars are also a great opportunity as well. And it's a nice way where you can get, you know, keynotes or high-level speakers that maybe can't travel. They can still attend and connect remotely, which is also happening at SGC. We're going to have speakers connect remotely as well.
Okay, so what other activities and opportunities are there within SGC? We mentioned briefly the project groups. Here are a full display of all the project groups that you can be a part of within SGC. And yeah, it's a group, as you can see, there are very different themes and topics that are addressed. So there's some area of interest that is particular to what you're working on or studying, or something new that you'd like to get involved with. Do check them out. Again, more details in the SGC website.
And then, of course, we do want to do a quick mention of scholarships. We talked about this a little bit before, but we give about 150 scholarships and grants per year to various different events. I'm sure actually plenty of you here are on a scholarship, so we're really happy to have you, and we're really thankful to our sponsors to enable scholarships to happen. So these are always posted to our website, so please do keep an eye on that. Usually main events like SGC, SGFF, which we've mentioned, they will have scholarships. So we definitely encourage you to apply to all of those so that you can support your attendance.
And then, of course, there are opportunities for professional development within SGC. And dozens of vacancies that you can apply to every month. So to be a volunteer, every year the Congress runs, we need people to run it, all those amazing individuals at the beginning that we should that you next year or the following year or across any of the other events. So please do check them out. And there are other, if you don't want to do events, other opportunities as well for you to get involved.
And one thing we wanted to highlight as well is the SGC mentorship program. So I know I mentioned this before, but SGC is for members between 18 and 35. So maybe those members that are a bit younger want to seek mentorship from folks that are a little bit older, a little bit more seasoned in their careers. And so you can do this through the SGC mentorship program. Once again, all this information is on the website as well. So I encourage you to check that out, whether you want to be a mentor or a mentee. It's a really rewarding experience. And again, you get to connect with people from all over the world. Your mentor doesn't need to be, you know, someone that lives in your city or town, which I think is also a really great thing about SGC.
Okay, so SGC is also very much involved in different UN activities, as previously mentioned. SGC is a permanent observer, has permanent observer status at the UN COPUS, so the UN Committee on Peaceful Outcome Uses, Peaceful Uses of Outer Space, and has consultative status at the UN Economic and Social Representatives. SGC presents outcomes of all its conferences and projects at the Scientific and Technical Subcommittee of COPUS, the Legal Subcommittee of COPUS, and the COPUS General Assembly, which is something to bear in mind as you come up with your recommendations and thoughts at the end of your working groups with SGC.
And then we also have the Space for Youth initiative. So this is a joint project that's in collaboration between the United Nations and SGC, and it was proposed in the context of supporting the first priority of the UN Youth Strategy. So namely engagement, participation, advocacy to amplify youth voices for promotion of peaceful, just, and sustainable world. So this is just another example of the other UN related activities that we have with SGAC.
Okay, so if all of the above hasn't fully convinced you that you should become a member if you want one yet, it's very important to highlight that the membership is free. So if you're not a member yet, then please do make sure to sign up. And it is really a great platform to have today's top space issues raised and considered and discussed and debated on with your fellow colleagues. It gives you a lot of access to great scholarships to be able to come to places like Dubai and have a great time with your fellow colleagues and for the Space Generation Network. It helps you support and grow your leadership skills and much, much more.
Yeah, so just to really recap, you can become a member on our website. I think most of you probably are members already. You can also join the SGC mailing list. That's where we send out highlights about different events that are happening as well. There's an SGC Slack. You can also contact your national point of contact, which is what the MPOC stands for, and join your local network. If your local network maybe doesn't have an MPOC as well, maybe you can take the initiative to be that. Definitely just reach out. And we encourage you to be involved. I mean, coming into the SGC is a great start. You're going to meet so many different people. A lot are volunteers, a part of SGC in a different part of the community. And so we encourage you to continue to become involved with SGC.
Okay, so we're going to have a look at the week ahead, just very, very briefly. So just highlight all the key platforms that you should be aware of. Okay, so in particular, our delegates that are joining us from home, Zoom will be your primary method for connecting with the working groups that will be held in a hybrid format. This should be, clear from also the delegates handbook. If you guys haven't seen that yet, the delegates have been sending out emails. So if you check your email folders, there should be a copy of that. It has a lot of information about how things operate here in Dubai, so the variants of transport, etc., and also links to the different Slack channels that you need to join for your working groups. So Slack is another tool that we'll be using. Just if you need any of us on the team, for those connecting online, you can use @SGC team and our name, and you'll be able to contact us easily. Also, most of you should have access to a Google Calendar where you can see a breakdown of all the events, especially if you're connecting online, so you can keep on top of the busy schedule of the next 3 days, and YouTube. So if you have friends, family that would like to see what's going on here but are not formally registered delegates, all the plenary sessions happening here in this room are being live streamed to YouTube. So please feel free to share the SGA's YouTube channel for that and share it.
And just some housekeeping related to COVID-19. So I see everyone in the audience is wearing a mask. So thank you, first of all. So we are going to be mandating that folks are wearing a mask indoors at all times, unless you're eating or drinking, with the exception of people that are doing keynotes. If you'd like to take your mask off to speak, I know it can be sometimes muffled, that's fine. But if you want to keep it on as well when you're speaking for any keynotes that are here, that's absolutely fine as well. So it's really, really important that you're wearing a mask at all times. I will be reminding folks, as well as the SGC team will be reminding folks. And then if it comes into an issue where people are refusing to wear a mask, we will have to ask you to leave. So if you have some sort of medical exemption or things like that, come talk to myself or Victoria. But please, we're doing this effectively in the middle of a pandemic. So I think to be respectful of everyone, please do wear a mask while you're indoors. So the lunches and coffee breaks are going to be split up. So working groups are going to be, there's going to be 3 working groups at a time for lunch. So this is in order to make sure we have enough spacing for eating and things like that. If you feel uncomfortable eating inside during the lunch, you can eat outside, that's no problem. So we have a lot of space in the atrium. I'm sure a lot of you saw when you walked in, it was quite a big space with lots of tables. That's where we'll be having lunch. All of our evening events are going to be outside as well. So during that time, we can have our masks up to eat and things like that. That's not a problem. But while we're indoors, I think it's best for everyone to be respectful of everyone and to follow that we're going to be wearing masks. So if there's an issue, please come up to Victoria or myself and we'll address that immediately. And we really, really appreciate all of you, following the rules and things like that.
Okay, so a quick note on connectivity. I'm sure you're all wondering how you connect to laptops, to WhatsApp, and so on. So internally here, these are the credentials you can use. So it's the MBRU events network name, and under that SGS under a small letter transport. And the password is 7558. It's also when your delegate handles. There you go. That's the way to access.
And I mentioned this quite briefly, but we're also having evening events throughout the SGC. So we're going to have shuttles for both the Space Night and International Night leave from the MBRU and take you all to the evening events. but you're all responsible for getting back to your hotels on your own because everyone's staying in different places. So we're going to be leaving around 7:30 tonight. So basically, once we finish up our sessions at the end of the day, we're going to be taking the buses to the evening events. All of these evening events have dinner for you. They've also been taking into consideration with respect to your dietary requirements. If you have any questions, you can talk to the chef as well there, and we'll make sure that all of that is sorted for you. So tonight we have Space Night. We're hosting it it's called the Secret Garden. It has a really beautiful view of the Burj Khalifa, which is going to be really amazing to eat outdoors on this nice terrace. We're also going to be having some other fun things, but I don't want to spoil anything yet, so I won't say that. And then we have International Night on Friday night, which is going to be hosted at Soho Bar and Grill. And this is a great opportunity for those folks that have brought maybe their national costume or national dress to dress in that. Again, we're going to be leaving directly from the MBRU, so I do encourage you to bring that to the venue so that you can change appropriately. There's bathrooms and things here, you can do that. So those are the two evening events that we have on Friday, tonight and Friday.
Yep, and last but not least is the SGC frozen dinner that's going to be held at the Ice the resort. So yeah, for this one we need to leave and that will not be from MBRU, so please pay attention. The buses will be leaving from the Dubai World Trade Center area. We will give more specifics to the handbook and communications. They will be departing starting at 6:30. Okay, so we will have a group of us walking from the apartments hotel at 16:15 to walk across, and there will be like a shuttle happening. So there will be various departure times. Again, more will be communicated in the delegates WhatsApp chat and of course different channels. But just a mental note of that one. And it will be a very special night as we'll be wrapping up with our closing dinner and have very special guests there. So
yeah, just to note, it is in the desert, so you can't like really take a cab or a taxi there. So we really want to just reiterate that. Please do make sure you can get on the buses with all of us. So, and we're ending the SGC earlier that day so that folks have time to go home. All right, so for those of you who haven't already, please do follow us on all our social media platforms. I know we have a few SGC bloggers as well, both online and in person, that are going to be tweeting their experience, sharing their experience on Facebook, things like that. So we encourage you all as well to do that, and you can use the hashtags SGC2021 or SGC21_live, and we can retweet these things as well. If you've learned something, that was really impactful in your working group or something you're really excited about, this is the best way to share. So please do, and we encourage you to share as much as possible. All right, well, with that, we just want to say thank you so much for listening. We're going to start kicking off the SGC with some keynotes. So again, thank you so much. Thank you to the team. Thank you to the sponsors. Thank you to both the online and in-person delegates for being here. The SGC wouldn't happen without the delegates here. So we're really excited to have you all. And yeah, thanks so much for being here. Welcome. One moment for transition. Yeah.